Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I was asked last minute to cast this series by Magnath. It is going to be a PvZ for the Legion Cup Season Finals, and yeah, so we're just gonna hop straight into it. Kind of a last minute thing, so I don't have anything cool prepared, but hopefully they're good games. And then yeah, after that I'll be playing Lasercat for NA Contender. I am currently 3-0 in my NA Contender group, and Lasercat is probably gonna make me 3-1. Just being the solid macro Protoss that he is. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, and oh, I need a link to the stream places. Yes. Oh, okay, looks like Magnath posted a message. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am so not ready to be casting right now, but we're gonna pretend just for a second. Alright, so we're getting into game one. It's going to be Lightshade. I'm excited to see what these guys bring. Zesty, a bit of a clown. Magnath, also a bit of a clown himself. And by clown, of course, not to be demeaning or anything, they just kind of play off meta, non-standard kind of builds. So yeah, let us get right into it as soon as OBS loads. Okay, wonderful. Actually, you know what? I'm going to remove that. Okay. Perfect. So here we have spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE. He is the pink Protoss representing Easy Dunk and Platinum Heroes. He is Magnath. And his opponent, starting things off with a little bit of a cheeky pool timing. He is hailing from GDA team in Brazil. He is Zesty. So 12 pool coming out from Zesty. Magnath is going to send out an early probe to scout or to block the expansion. Of course, no expansion is going to be coming down just yet, and you should realize this fairly soon. And then scout up towards the main and see that 12 pool. Now we're going to have to see if it's all going to come down to micro, I believe, from Magnath here, unless he has some kind of funny response to 12 pool. And so we are going to have to see if he's going to be able to micro cleanly, is the main thing. He is playing cross server, so he is an EU player. He's playing on NA. And if you know anything about Magnath, you will know that his internet leaves something to be desired. Even to EU, which is his home region, he gets like 200 ping most of the time. So I don't know what his ping is right now, but if I had to guess, it's maybe like 300 to 400. But he's used to it, so he's most likely learned to either get around it or micro on the high ping. We are going to see the Zealot getting out here in time. We've got the pylon to block the Lings from just running in, and now we're just going to start this little dance. Do need to make sure that pylon doesn't finish. Okay, he's going to let it finish. A bit of an error there, or an inefficiency at the very least. And Magnath, he's kind of holding off the Lings. The Zealots haven't really taken any damage. He's shaved off one or two. already, so not the worst defense, and a little bit of mistake there also makes it not the best from my expert input on that situation. And we're also going to be seeing, oh, a little spicy. He's going to be dropping down a gateway. Probe is patrolling down here. Almost looks like he's trying to fake an expansion. Zesty can see that there is no expansion with this Overlord here. So he has to be wondering what Magnath is up to. I mean, he's sent some lings all around the map. He's basically scouted this entire upper side of the map except where Magnath is proxied. So highly unfortunate from him, and we do actually see a second gateway dropping down here. So it's going to be a classic 4-gate from Magnath. Just trying to catch Zesty, being a little bit greedy, but Zesty, I mean, he's going to take this third base here, but he's stopping at around 23 workers so far. I don't know if he's waiting for something, or yeah, okay, so he's actually going to start making lings here at 23 workers. So if there were going to be an ideal situation for Zesty, then this is it. I mean, he's at a good worker count to stop, and actually these Zealots and Adepts and this one Stalker are doing quite a lot of work. One Queen already going down, all the lings being shaved off, and okay, Transfuse does go down, and Magnath loses most of the gateway units there, which is not ideal, I believe. I think he wants to try and shave off what he can and then get out with those gateway units to try and recycle their value. And he actually probably could have done that. He got a lot of damage done and then just kind of committed further, which I don't think was the play. I think he could have killed the Queen, killed the Lings, backed off, let the shields regenerate, maybe get some more units going, pair them up with these extra Stalkers and Adepts that he warped in at the proxy. But as it is, he is pushing in, and Zesty is forced to make a bunch of spines. These drones are going to be drilling, and they're going to get the surround on these units. There's nowhere to run, but who is trapped in with who is the question you have to ask ourselves here. And 6 drones going down is actually not that bad. I mean, even if Magnath loses all these units, there's not a lot of workers here for Zesty. I mean, it's 22 workers versus 22, and technically Magnath should be able to build a better army. I mean, Zesty can only make lings right now. He has no other tech. He has no gas mining. It's just lings and queens, which, well, if your opponent's one base all inning is not the worst in the world, I suppose, but it's also not the best. Magnath can technically create a better army if he gets maybe some Stalkers and Zealots. But as it is, he's going Mass Adept. He's going to shade around, try and macro around these lings and see if he can get an effective trade. But a couple of Adepts going down outside the base here as the Queens kind of pair up with the Lings as well. And Adepts getting caught on the ramp are going to get picked off, and I think Zesty is held. He's started at 4 more workers. He's going to be sending these Lings across the map. Magnath is going to finally take his expansion. These sentries kind of in an awkward position, going to start picking away at that pylon to try and get back into the base. But overall, I mean, Magnath, I was talking about Zesty's tech, but Magnath also doesn't have the greatest tech. And now that the aggression has been held, Zesty is going to start up a lair, and he's just going to be kind of taking that next step in the game. Meanwhile, Magnath is still working on developing at home. He's starting a robotics facility and a shield battery. Now he's going to leave that pylon alive to try and save these proxy gates, which he is going to successfully do. So at least he keeps that alive. A little bit of a small victory for Magnath, but he's going to need a couple more of those if he wants to get back into this game, I believe. 28 workers to 36 is it's a low worker count, so the Protoss should still be even. And Zesty is starting roach speed. He's got 2 spines. He's building a lot of lings. That is many lings. And he's going to try and take out this proxy pylon. Magnath moving his Adepts away at the exact wrong moment. He's going to catch a couple lings for his troubles, but losing these 2 gateways is really bad and not only in terms of being supply blocked, but he's also now not able to produce as much in the future. At least he'll have to build another 300 minerals worth of gateways in order to do so. Adept's getting caught here, and this is just going from bad to worse for Magnath, as these Adepts do not get what they're looking for. I mean, in all fairness, the workers are even, but they will not be even for long. As big round of drones coming out from Zesty. He drops 9, he drops another 5. And then while he's droning, he still has these extra units to use to defend, moving across the map. So it's going to come down to Magnath needing to defend and then also do more. And if the fight goes well enough for him, batteries are good units. He could technically stabilize and perhaps find a place in this game, but Probe sneaks out to try and take a ninja base. Not going to be happening. This thing is going to scout it perfectly. He is then forced to take the normie third Robo Bay on the way for Magnath. So there is a second step to this as far as the army goes, and I mean Zesty is going to go up to 49 workers, and he starts a big round of roaches. 11 roaches on the production tab. He's got +1 melee on the way. So he looks like he's gonna go for a Roach Ravager Ling bust. Since Magnath is taking a third. Magnath is actually supply blocked right now, so he's not able to get that disruptor started. Not that I think it would have mattered. This hallucination play is not bad. Because I think I don't think that even a disruptor here would help Magnath stabilize. He just lacks units, really. Oh, these force fields are kind of, I mean, they're doing okay, and the hallucinations kind of tank some of the shots in the surrounds for Magnath, and a good disruptor shot is going to clear out a good number of roaches, but Magnath needed to shut this down really hard in order to still be able to play this game, because behind this attack, Zesty is up in workers. He's up 6. It's not like this is an all-in by any sorts. This is a 3-base Protoss can make a scary army. So let's eliminate another option that Protoss has to get back in this game. And as if to agree with my sentiment that he wants to carry on with a longer game, Zesty starts up another 10 drones behind this. Just fully saturates his 3rd base, takes a 4th. And Magnath on the other side of the map has no choice but to just all in. His attempts at a 3rd base have been thwarted. He is behind in workers, behind on tech, behind on upgrades. But I feel like the attack he's setting up for is just not going to be in time. I mean, it's been a lot of sad news for Magnath this game. So it feels bad just continuing to be down on his position, but it's true how it is. He's been way behind in workers, which is acceptable later in the game. You often see Protosses at like 65 workers versus an 80 drone Zerg. That's an acceptable position, but Magnath was behind in the 30 worker area, and then he was still behind in the 40 worker area, and the 50 now, and even the 60. So Zesty has just had more to work with, and these disruptor shots go out, they catch a couple of Banes, but Zesty is not having any of it. He's going to completely collapse in this army. Ravagers, Zlings, Banes moving through, and GG is called. Zesty up 1-0. Interesting game. This is kind of what we what we sort of expect from these two players. Some weird stuff from both sides. I mean, that was Zesty kind of played the more normal there. I think we can safely say that that Magnath was the one making that game the way it was. So, moving over to EU for the second game, it should be a little bit better ping for Magnath. Although I don't feel like the ping was the issue there. He just kind of went for a sneaky build and it got really hard shut down. So I feel like we can kind of just chalk it up to that instead of blaming the ping. Although, you know, never a good idea to insult Magnath's builds. So I should probably stay away from that. Okay. So just waiting on an invite from the players to get the map set up and everything. Alright, so we're going to be going into Oxide for game number 2. Hopefully Magnath is able to put out a little bit better performance this time around. All to say, let us get into it. As we do have spawning in the top right hand side of Oxide, the pink Protoss representing Platinum Heroes and Easy Dunk. He is Magnath. And his opponent in the bottom left hand side representing GDA team and hailing from Brazil, he is Zesty. Okay, so this time he's going to try to go for that hatch first, but Magnath is going to block him. So opener already starting out a little bit better for Magnath. Getting that pylon block and delaying the hatchery is basically exactly what you want as the Protoss. So Zesty not going to be feeling so good about that. Magnath on the other hand, yeah, I mean he pretty good. He delayed the hatch with this probe for a while, kind of forced the early pool, placed the pylon and got the cancel down. So all good stuff from Magnath so far. Although this wall, buddy, that's not a gap. That's not how you make a wall on this map. I mean, unless Magnath is going for a 2-base all in, I don't. This is not the greatest wall. So he's going to go core before Nexus, though, in response to the early pool of Zesty. Rather than pool before hatch. Can you just go Nexus and then core if they reactively pool first? I feel like the Adept actually makes it out in time. And it's like, yeah, Zesty is chasing this probe with his first 2 links, so it's not like you're really in danger of him dealing damage to you. Yeah, I feel like Magnath just kind of unnecessarily delays his natural there. Bit of a mistake from Magnath. But we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide. Twilight Council coming down. We got a Stalker on the way as well to help clear out the Overlord. Adept making its way across the map. Just going to try and get some scouting done. As we're setting up into what looks like a much more normal game. No 4-gate all-in, no tofu. You know, nothing super fishy yet. Where is okay, there's the robotics facility. Oh. I suppose that makes a wall. Interesting. In the stock, I guess. I don't know, buddy. I mean, like, this kind of still defends a Bane bust, right? And he can always, like, retreat back here if he wants to reduce the link surface area. But, I mean, only 2 links can hit anyways. Oof. Wait, he made a battery. I don't know about that. Just a couple links made. Full scout into the main. Did he also lose his Adept on the other side of the map? Yes, he did. So this is actually kind of a sloppy early game. I missed that I was talking about Magnath's wall. So this is really bad. It's a probe for his troubles as well. Full scout and everything. He's gonna know this is glazed basically for certain. Magnath is gonna be down in Adept for this attack, but I mean Zesty's still droning. He's at 43 workers and he has 4 more about to pop. He's going to go up to 47 workers versus a 29 worker Adept attack from Magnath. This actually might just still work, despite the poor early game and the canceling of the Adept with the Prism there. And the supply block at a highly inconvenient time. This is insane. He's not going to let that shade finish. Why? I mean, there's just nothing here for Zesty. The Adept is attacking the hatchery. Okay, he's gonna get 1 drone. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Adept's gonna be picking away at these drones here at the 3rd base. The Spine does finish, so the defense is kind of gonna start to stabilize for Zesty, as Adepts are not known for their ability to take care of Spines. Queens are going to be targeting on that Warp Prism, and Queens are known for the ability to take care of Prisms, as this is going to get away with 9 HP. The Queens are committing way too hard for this, but they are going to get it, but at the cost of both of their lives. These Adepts are still around. Magnath was able to take care of a lot of drones of Zesty. He's going to kind of bring them closer to even. And there's not that many units, although Zesty making the correct decision to build Spine Crawlers to kind of delay Magnath just a little bit to help him stabilize on some roaches. Yeah, there's a Spine in each base, which I think contributes to the current equality in worker count that we are seeing. But Magnath he was never planning to expand here. So I think overall that went okay. He got some good workers. He forced out the Spines, which are that's kind of going to help Zesty a little bit, I think, on the follow-up defense. And this move across the map is going to confirm no 3rd base. So Zesty should know that droning needs to stop and unit production needs to start. as Magnath is forced to kill an Adept there to start his Immortal faster, and Queens once again just kind of diving the Prism at the expense of their own lives, although they're not going to die this time. Couple of drones going down. It's going to end up being 5 drones in exchange for 4 Adepts and some damage on the Prism. Magnath might have to recall that, although recall is still halfway on cooldown. Okay. Magnath plays Protoss in the most interesting way. This has been a mess. This has been an absolute mess. I mean, Zesty is up 20 supply. He is stopped at a decent worker count, considering what he has scouted. I've liked some of the decisions from Zesty ever since that defense. And now that Magnath is taking a third, he's going to just pull the trigger and go. Magnath kind of wants this. He's not that far behind in workers, and he's building an army that can kill Zesty's army. He just wants to take a fight off creep while dealing damage across the map with the Prism. Did he lose the Prism? No. Okay, where is it? There it is. Okay, the Prism's following the army. So Magnath is just going to be tracking this army, making sure, that he doesn't just like go home or get itself into some sort of awkward position. Disruptor shot's gonna kind of fish for an attack, a hit there, but going to fail. You know, I was on board with Zesty stopping at 49 workers, but he kind of just stayed there for a while after he made more than enough units to defend. So a bit of a blunder there, I would say, but he is going into Spire, and a big bean account could be what ends the game here for Zesty if Magnath's not able to get the anti-air out in time. However, with these force fields and this attack, and the miss on the disruptor with the biles, actually this is going really poorly for Zesty, and Magnath takes a fantastic trade. He's got Blink on the way as well, which is gonna help him a lot versus the upcoming mutas, but I don't even know if it's going to get to that point because Zesty needs to make roaches right now. Magnath is moving across the map. He's got 2 Immortals, a metric, crap ton of Adepts, and then a Colossus to help kind of clear the Lings and the Ravagers. Not much to say on the Sentry energy, however, which is, of course, due to the fact that he just used a lot of it on the force fields, but he's just going to actually click on this third base. Okay, he moves on from clicking the third base. Prism coming in from the top. He's dodging the biles decently well. The Immortal staying alive in the back line, just kind of dishing out an ungodly amount of damage. The Colossus going to start roasting these drones. The Adepts also taking the drones from the side. And what looked like it was going to be an awful game from Magnath turns into an amazing push. Immortal eats a bile there, but I don't even think it matters anymore. Queen's trying to target the Colossus, but they got so much further to go, and I think he's done it. The Mad Lad. Adept's apparently a decent unit whenever they have some Immortals and a Colossus behind it. GG is called. Magnath ties up the series 1-1. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So we're going to be switching back over to NA, which is, of course, going to make things take a little bit longer. Alrighty. So getting into game number 3. It is 1-1 in this best of 5. And yeah, Blackburn. It is the weirdest of the maps we've played so far, for sure. It is it's a fun one. It's a fun map. Maybe not for the Protoss in this specific matchup, as we do have Mr. Drone here from Zesty making his way up towards that gold base. And this is a greedy play. This is a really greedy play. And I don't know what Magnath has to deal with it. It's going to be a 14 hatch, or 14 pool, 14 hatch, and it's going to be a lot of lings. So he's going to utilize those gold minerals to just increase the amount of ling production he is able to afford off of this economy compared to what he normally does, or what you're normally able to do with this build. Meanwhile, Magnath, on the other side of things, is not scouting. He is confident that Zesty will not be doing any sort of shenanigans, and I don't know where that confidence comes from, because this is Zesty, this is Blackburn. Perhaps he is expecting a fast base at the gold and responding with his own micro version of greed, which you know, a no scout does not make up for a gold base. That is not an equal trade. That is a favorable trade for the Zerg player. And it's especially not going to be an equal trade whenever Zesty... Actually, hold on. This is actually going to be terrible for Zesty. Well, if Magnath survives, it's you know, it's playable, because Zesty was not mining for a very long time because his drones went the wrong way. Now these lings are going to depower the pylon. The probes are pulled, which is going to mean that Magnath is not mining for a long time, and he's even going to lose a lot of them as well, down to 4, 5. We probably might even see 6 or 7. Yeah, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 probes go down. Magnath is now down 5 workers. Zesty is mining from a gold base now, not mining around a gold base as he was before. And this is just not looking good. This is not good for the Protoss. As Zesty is going to build a spine crawler to ensure safety at this gold base. And he's mining 14 out of 12, which, and like, the spine crawler is actually kind of really interfering with the mining. Like, this is like an extra half second that all 3 of these patches are experiencing for these drones. So like, it's actually kind of like, the spine combined with the inefficiency of the mining and the inefficiency of the saturation. This is almost a normal base. Like, gold bases are good, but this is basically 14 workers instead of 12 workers. Mining a 16 worker. So it's like a 2 drone boost, which, funnily enough, is the amount of workers that Magnath is ahead by, or was ahead by before Zesty started 2 Evo chambers. So, you know, it looked really bad, but Magnath is okay now. He's kind of stabilized. He's got a lot of gates on the way. And a robo. Why? What? Okay. So he stopped at 30 workers. He's making a warp prism. He's making some sentries. And he's making a lot of gateways. So this is going to be... he's got 3 right now, and then he's got another 5. So it's 8 gates. 32 workers, 8 gates. It's like a charge all-in without charge. As Zesty has made a lot of links. As you know, I feel like I've said this several times this series already. In fact, way too many times. Way more than I ever should have. As that sentry does get picked off, that's pretty big. It's a pretty big catch for Zesty. The Warp Prism not able to get there in time to save it. Zesty, on the other side of the map, has invested 250 into 1-1 for slow links. Speed has just now started. This actually might just work. Despite losing a sentry, despite this being just a really weird build in general, Magnath might win with slow zealots in 2 sentries and a stalker. And that baffles me. Okay, he needs to not really chase these lings. They are going to get their upgrades finished, but I mean, Magnath has already kind of started to pick away at them. And the concern here is that Magnath gets surrounded, which of course he will because he's moving into this natural. But this is a lot of zealots, and the lings, like, they can't get us around. I mean, Magnath is up 15 supply. He's up 46 army supply to 16. What? What is this? Oh my god. This is justice. Zesty goes for the greediest play after that 14 pool attack that Magnath did at Scout. And Magnath just takes full advantage of it. Link speed is now finished and there's some banelings in the way, but this is just simply not enough. It's a numbers game. It doesn't matter if you have the counters to your opponent's units if you don't have enough units yourself. 3 banelings is not enough to take care of 13 zealots. And even those extra 2 banelings finishing are not going to change the tides. Now Magnath needs to not get distracted. He does need to get into the minerals here, which he's going to do. He's going to take care of that queen. Now this gold base is still happily mining, and I believe this is what Zesty believes is his lifeline. However, I disagree. I don't think this is your lifeline, Zesty. I think you are dead. As Morling is going to come streaming in, they're going to take down that stalker. The zealots are just kind of right-clicked onto this layer, but I don't think it really matters. He kind of still just wins because the lings, as soon as the lings engage, they just die. So he can kind of just juggle that stalker, and then the lings can't do anything. Because they're melee units, and they're fighting other melee units, but the other melee units are higher in number. This is the way. Bane's going to become streaming in. They're getting just beautiful connections, wonderful connections. Some of the best he could have hoped for, honestly. Magnath is barely splitting. But Magnath doesn't need to split. Magnath, he has 14 zealots and 3 adepts. Zesty has 1 ling. This is a chef's kiss to my Egyptian Protoss friend. For making this kind of stuff work. I'm not gonna. I feel like complimenting this kind of play is disingenuous, because this is not the peak of skill in StarCraft. This is moving slow zealots into a Zerg who has made grave mistakes earlier in the game. But at the same time, an artist can appreciate art, and as a fellow Protoss clown, I can appreciate the art that Magnath has created in this game. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful art in its own specific way. It's beautiful in the same way that Picasso drawing cows with boxy heads is beautiful. Not because, you know, it's nice to look at, but because it's different from everything else. As he's going to be moving around with this Warp Prism, he's got these 4 adepts just kind of picking away at what he can. Lings, drones, banes, anything. Magnath is now significantly ahead in workers, 50 to 30. He's still just making unupgraded gateway units at home. He's got a Colossus on the way. I believe he does, yeah. So he's built the Twilight Council, but he's not actually researching anything from it. He's making a third base. Zesty's going to try to prevent that from happening, but Magnath's army is not too far out of position. He is going to be able to get the cleanup. Magnath, okay, he's going to start charge. So, makes sense. He's got a lot of zealots. He's got, just a lot of zealots. If Zesty has enough time to build up roaches and banelings, this high zealot count will become a detriment to Magnath. But we come back to the philosophy in StarCraft, where more is better than less. And it doesn't, this is specifically a quote that leaves out the noun that it is supposed to follow more and less. Because it doesn't matter what you are making more of and what your opponent is making less of, as long as you have enough. And I'm getting the feeling that in this game, Magnath will have enough. As you see him just kind of establishing his base here. He can sit back as long as he wants to, really. Because the thing about Zesty is, if you don't harass him, he will harass himself and just make units for no reason. These roaches he is making and these lings he is sending across the map are being sent to their doom. He has a smaller army than Magnath. His units are in position. He will never do anything with these units. There is technically a hole in the wall, so maybe he could actually send the lings into the natural and the main. But, warp ins, and it's risky. Usually you expect the Protoss to have units in their wall, so I don't hate that he's not trying it. But he's building units on less workers versus somebody who has more units than him. It's not an ideal situation. And I understand the philosophy of the fantasy GG. However, in this situation, I feel like it's a bit silly. This game is very over. As Lings killed 12 workers at the third base of Magnath, Magnath will A move, and there is nothing that Zesty can do about that. Zesty will fight in a perfect choke with roaches and banelings, and he will lose to mostly mass zealot with a couple of sentries, archons, and colossus. And this is StarCraft 2, ladies and gentlemen, the most competitive RTS in 2021. A beautiful game for beautiful people like Magnath and Zesty, who are showing these amazing games for us today. As Magnath continues to fight as Zesty continues to fight with the heart of a lion. He knows the battle is lost, but he trudges onward, ever onward. GG is called. Magnath goes up 2-1. An absolutely beautiful game. Blackburn delivering once again as we move back over to EU. So that was Magnath's, that was Zesty's advantage of a server. So him losing that kind of sucks for him. Not what he was hoping, especially with how that first game went. Losing to some of these weird builds must not feel very good. It must not feel very good at all. as we're moving into potentially the final game of the series. I am being told that I am a weird build in the chat. Yes, I do have a weird build. But unlike you, in this case, I can't help my weird build. I was just kind of born this way. So moving into Magnath for the potentially final game. I don't know what the ace map is, but this is the 4th game, potentially final game. If I am Zesty right now, I am tilted out of my mind. So that's why he actually didn't 12 pull Magnath, funnily enough. I know you're probably not listening still, but I can show you how I get 12 pulled and no scout and do better. Actually, I can show you that if you're actually interested. Oh. Okay, as we're loading in to Magnath. Magnath LE. So we have spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, hailing from Platinum Heroes and representing Easy Dunk, as well as hailing from the beautiful country of Egypt. He is our pink Protoss player, Magnath. And his opponent, hailing from the lustrous land of Brazil, representing GDAT, 12 pooling his way into potentially a game 5. We have the Teal Zerg Zesty. And you might notice I am taking as long as I can to introduce these players, because the longer I take to introduce them, the less time I have to fill in before we get to the good parts. In this game, there is absolutely no aggression happening, guys. We will not have anything happening for at least another 5 seconds, as we have a cannon rush into a 12 pool. Zesty has no idea. Okay, he doesn't have an idea. Now, Probe is going to try to escape. The Lings weren't attack move there, so the Probe just kind of phases right through them. And look at this funny spot. Okay, he's going to get a cancel on one of those pylons, and ooh, good mineral walks. Good micro for Magnath. Really good. He's going to get a second cannon and a third cannon up to try and force a cancel onto this hatch. Or if not, then get the kill. And that cannon's actually not in range. He does get the cancel off and starts up another cannon. So, yeah, I mean, pretty good start for Magnath, I think. Kind of securing this low ground and picking off a couple Lings in exchange for some canceled cannons. Always a good trade. As each Ling costs 25 minerals and each cannon cancel costs, I believe, 12. No, it's not a good trade. I always thought it was. Because each cannon cancel costs more than 25 minerals. How much does it cost? 150 divided by, or 150 minus 113 is 37. So it's actually, so you have to kill 2 Lings for a cannon cancel. But I mean, I think on average, you can just look at the units lost. Magnath has lost more. Amazing. Look at that. As this hatch is going to end up going down, Magnath building a couple of extra cannons and batteries just to secure himself from the potential of the Ravager bust that Zesty looks like he's gearing up for, as he has taken double gas here in the main, and he is producing the Ravager as we speak, a second one starting right now as well. And yeah, so the strength of these Ravagers is that they will be able to kind of pick away at the cannons and batteries over time. With their biles, they don't have to get in range to actually hit the cannons. So it's important for Magnath to have a sufficient amount of static defense to actually defend that. Now, there's only a Stalker on the way. There's no Robo, there's no Stargate. So Magnath is purely focused on, oh my god. Oh, the probe stopped the Stalker from popping out on the right side. Oh, Magnath, you fool. Okay, he's gonna kill this battery to let the Stalker out. But the Stalker's still trapped! Oh, no. And 1,000 Protoss screamed in pain throughout the galaxy. They cried out. If you've ever cannon rushed, you know how bad this feels. Actually, you don't even have to have cannon rushed to know how bad this feels. Is Magnath, like, how does he have so little gas? He hasn't started. There's no tech. He was mining 6 workers on gas. He's only been building Stalkers out of 1 gate. Okay, there he starts the Stargate. So he's gonna have to transition to home. And he's not the most well equipped to do so. He is technically up on workers, but that can be very quickly changed. Magnath does not have easy access to an expansion, and Zesty does. So, well, once Zesty cleans out this proxy, of course, then he will. Oh, come on, finish it off. Oh, it's 2 HP. No, okay. I mean, Magnath is looking on the other side of the map at this attack onto his base. He's going to get the battery overcharged down to kind of keep that pylon alive. But, it stops healing it because it got the full health. But the pylon doesn't actually let the Roaches and Ravagers through. It's a 1 hex gap, and those are both 2 hex large units. This cannon putting in some decent work, and the Stalker kind of delaying these reinforcements from Zesty. As the Void Ray is going to pop out here relatively soon. The probes are pulled to kind of help buy some time. The Ravagers and Roaches going to be focusing on that Stargate. The Void Ray is so close to finishing. Okay, it is going to get out, but will it be able to kill the units that Zesty has before the units that Zesty has kills the Stargate? The answer to that is yes. He only loses 2 probes, and Zesty actually almost does Magnath a favor here. If you notice, this is not a wall, which means that Magnath can expand. And that is big, because easy access to an expansion was one of the advantages I gave Zesty going into this. I think Magnath is actually going for an extra Cybernetics core there to try and get that down before the gateway was killed. Unlucky there for him, but it's actually only 1 queen. Wait, I don't think Zesty has enough anti-air. Okay, Magnath eats a bile because he's not microing. But send this other Void Ray across the map. What are you doing? Magnath can just win. There's 1 queen. He can just sit at this natural forever and rally Void Rays. Okay, he's gonna do that. He's sending the next 2 across the map. By then, a 2nd queen will have popped, but I don't think it matters. 3 Void Rays still beats 2 queens. Magnath is just gonna win, straight up with Void Rays. I mean, the anti-Protoss agenda will tell us that Void Rays are overpowered, and that this is not a surprise. But Void Rays should not be able to win a game by themselves, except in a kind of weird situation like this. But yeah, both the queens go down. The Biles are going to do their best to try and get the Void Rays to move around and not deal as much damage. But Magnath is just going to walk into the main. There's 1 spore for the anti-air. He's going to stutter step onto these drones, target down these 2 spores with prismatic alignment. Okay, he moves away from the Biles. Decent dodge. He still has prismatic alignment activated. He does need to cancel that. Kills the queen. Dodges the bile again. There's another spore down here at the natural. He's going to let those units kind of move across the map. And yeah, just click the spore. Another queen is popping here at the natural here pretty soon. But that's going to be the last queen for a while, as there's not another one started until just now in the main. Okay. He has another Void Ray across the map. He's going to be able to pick away at these units eventually. The 2 cannons that start at the natural are going to have to be cancelled, but there's just not enough. Magnath wins. That's it. This is checkmate. as an innocent cannon rush turned into a clown fiesta game. No, this is going to be a weird one from the start. Who are we kidding? Roaches and Lings across the map going to try and take down this Nexus. I do believe they're going to get it, but GG's had to be called anyways. Not enough anti-air. There's 5 Wood Rays out, and Magnath takes the series 3-1. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations to Magnath. A really lopsided series. This is not how David Kim intended PvZ to be played. But this is how Magnath designed PvZ to be played, so that's how it was played. Magnath, I will take you up on that offer. I can show you how to defend a total pool without scouting.